My name is Aubrey. I am from Bend, Oregon. I am a nomadic leathersmith, and I live out of my Toyota Dolphin. Oh, how many months is that? That's been about 9 months now that I've been living in my camper. Yeah. I started living nomadically because I had a huge life shift. My boyfriend and I had decided that we were going to go travel around, and so we went to Bali. And while we were there, it was a really crazy trip, and he actually ended up passing away while we were there, which is wild. And we were ready to move there and live there full time and live there for at least a year or so and keep traveling. And so we had this travel bug, right? And then he passed away while we were there, and I came back home to the US, obviously, and didn't really have a place anymore because we lived together, we had a house together, we had our dog together. So my next stop was like, I don't want to stop traveling. I don't want to be afraid just because all this happened. So I was looking into vans at first, actually. But that didn't really, it was too expensive for a van. I couldn't do a van. So that's kind of how I found the Toyota Dolphin. I was really broke when I came back to the US, so I was like, oh, okay, can't really afford a fancy Sprinter or anything. And my pops was like, hey, why don't you look into RVs? I was like, heck no, that sounds like a terrible idea. So anyway, so he's like, well, I found one on Craigslist. Why don't you just check it out? So I'm like, okay, cool, we'll go check it out. We went there. It was so much smaller than I thought. It fits in a parking space, so this is awesome. The lady who I was meeting, who was selling it, was this tough as nails old lady. She was super, super cool. Fly fishing. Her and her dog used to just take this thing on little fly fishing camping trips. And so I was like, man, I want to keep this legacy going. Me and my dog, we're going to go on adventures. But it was definitely different looking. So I redid the whole inside because it was 80s, but it looked 70s, and shag carpet everywhere, that sort of thing. So yeah, I knew there was some work to be done. I worked just as a server and saved up some like fast cash, and then I hit the road. I loved to work with leather, and I knew it was a passion of mine. I hadn't had a business before hitting the road at all. So it was kind of just a make it or break it. All right, Aubrey, you better start making some leather. All right, so I'm just gonna show you a little bit around my workshop. Obviously, my workbench is here. I keep my arbor press, which is really my only piece of machinery that I have. It weighs quite a bit, so I want to keep everything as light as possible too, obviously living on the road. I have little bins for everything, especially when you're in a small space and it's mobile and it's going to be shaking around all the time. You want to make sure that it's not going to fall, it's not going to fly, you're not going to lose it while you're moving your house and your workshop. So just finding little crates like this, little tubs. I keep all of my mallets, my rulers, everything that I need to like grab and just go. Just right there within hand's reach, arm's reach. Everything in my camper really is arm's reach, but specifically everything at the workshop, I want it to be very close by so that I'm not having to move around. So like up in this cabinet, I keep all of my little storage bins while I'm moving, because again, if you live on the road and you're driving your workshop, if you don't have a place for things to go, they will fly everywhere while you're driving. Here is where I keep, like, I'll put my mallets and my hammers up in here when I'm driving. All my templates live in a little binder. I have rulers and extra random tools. I'm not the most organized person that I know, but it lives up there. If it's a leather tool, it's up there somewhere. Other than that, I keep all of my hardware in this little storage bin, which has been so helpful because it has storage on this side, and then flip it around and it has some of my tools on this side. So riveting tools, punches, that sort of thing. So it's all just in one spot and I know where it is and it doesn't go flying everywhere. Other than that, I do have like a little bin for all of my finished products. I'll put those in there as soon as I'm done with them, or if I'm nearly done with them, just to keep them nice and buffed out and keep Ike's dog hair off of it, that sort of thing, before I ship it, and just to kind of keep it out of the way. That way I know it's done, it's in there. After that, I have all of my leather stored down here. So all of my rolls and rolls and rolls. I don't like to stock up unless I've gotten through a lot of this, and so that's where I keep it, underneath my workbench. And then that makes me get rid of it by making leather goods. My shipping area is very nicely put over here. Boxes, look at that. Yeah, I don't really have a very good designated shipping area. So when you live in a small space, you find really good little hidey holes for everything, and that's where that lives. Yeah, I think that's all I got. That's my workshop, guys. Working in a small space with a physical handmade good is really tricky. There are a lot of like digital nomads on the road. I think that's the go-to for the most part that I've seen, and it's a really good way to go. I don't have those skills. I can be on a computer, but I don't want to be. So having a physical good is really kind of tricky because you have to deal with things like storage. You have to deal with things like shipping and getting your product to you when you're kind of traveling all over the place. And I don't always know where I'm going to be next. So to get something shipped to me, I'm like, oh, do I know anyone in that town? Is there a USPS there? Where does this company ship to USPS? That sort of thing. So it's been tricky, and then everything is small. Everything in my life is small. So storing rolls and rolls of leather is tricky. And it's changed. It's shifted the way I run my business quite a bit, even just since when I first started, because I can't have a lot of inventory taking up space. I need to be able to move it quickly. So yeah, that's kind of what dictated my business model, at least. I run off a little 12-volt battery, just my little house battery versus my battery in my car. And I have a solar panel that will charge that up, but I really don't use much electricity outside of just my living needs for my business, because it's all handmade. Like literally everything is hand done. So first of all, it's nice because I don't have this big, bulky, giant leather sewing machine up here that I have to think about the weight of and all that kind of stuff. And I really enjoy hand stitching because the type of stitch that I use is a little bit maybe more durable than a lot of machines can give you. You use a saddle stitch, so you're going both ways through the leather, which is nice. So if one side of the leather rips or breaks or snags or something, you still have the entire other side of the leather or the string that runs through all of it. So it lasts a really, really long time. And I want to make products that last a long time. I want to make heirloom products. I want to make products that are good for adventure. Things that, like, I make these jewelry wraps. So a lot of times, for me at least, yeah, I travel and I live a little like minimalist lifestyle, but I also have jewelry because I'm a girl and I wanna look cute places. So I hate putting my jewelry in a stinking plastic bag and getting it out and then having a giant necklace ball. So I created this little jewelry burrito, this little jewelry wrap up that you can put all your stuff in and still go on an adventure. Throw it in your luggage, get to wherever you need to be. Just kind of things that help make people's travels a little bit easier too. Passport covers or wallets that you can slide your phone into too, or cast iron skillet covers if you're going out camping and you want to use your cast iron skillet, or that sort of thing. Business is new. Business is good. It's really, really good. I've gotten super lucky. I have a lot of people interested in my product, and I am getting orders all the time. Yeah, but it's been really good, and I've come across some really wonderful people who want to see my stuff out there and who like what I'm doing. So that's been huge. Just the whole community behind it all wants to see me succeed, so it pushes me a little bit more. Business is good. I think it's always good to have savings. It's always good to have savings, but also if you're a starving artist, it'll just push you that much more to get stuff out there. So business, my leather good company, is called Huck Finn Leatherworks. You can find me on huckfinnleatherworks.com. You can also find me on Instagram